Hey everybody, it's Doug Green and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News, and I'm very pleased to have with me Marek Wasilewski of Expereo. Marek, thank you for joining me today.
Hi Doug, thank you for having me. It's a real honor and a pleasure to be here.
Well, I'm so glad you were able to take a little bit of time out here on a busy day here at the Channel Partner Conference, the MSP Summit, where you have been meeting customers, you've been meeting partners all day long, and I think also yesterday.
That's right.
So we're going to dive into that and some news and so on. But first of all, what is Expereo?
So it's a great question, and thank you for asking that. Expereo is a very unique organization in the sense that it's actually one of the largest, I would say, network as a service provider. And the reason why I say it's unique is that it doesn't just offer what you would typically define as maybe plumbing or connectivity, but really it embodies so much more as a service. It provides the ultimate connectivity, obviously, as is required, but then it wraps a whole bunch of additional services into it, which are essential for the overall success, if you like, of IT deployment. So when I say services, I typically mean things like not just, as I said, connectivity, but also various types of connectivity. So you could be talking about LEO satellites, you could be talking about direct internet access, you could be talking about the fact that we also provide a full turnkey solution, i.e. anything from project management all the way through to installation. And our uniqueness, and I would say the unique selling point and the key differentiator is that we actually do it for all enterprise customers across 190 countries.
Now, what's your message to the channel and the MSPs this week? What are you telling them?
We've had a phenomenal amount of interaction with the channel partners over the last 2 days. And there were 3 key items or 3 key messages that came out throughout those conversations. First one was, we don't do global internet we don't do connectivity very well. Second one is, we really need somebody to simplify the approach, so help us simplify. And the third one really was about having a trusted advisor and an opportunity for somebody to present that opportunity to the end users, to the channel partners, and remove the entire complexity out of the equation. So the feedback we're getting and the message that ultimately that I would then provide back to the channel partners is exactly that. Expereo does all those 3 things that channel partners have been asking for.
And so you're kind of, in a way, feeling like you're unpacking a riddle. That, in other words, there's some things that our industry really doesn't do that well. The channel partners are forward-facing to customers. These are real-world challenges that they're facing. And your sense of it is, despite a lot of effort, historically, we have not really solved the customer problem. You feel you are.
Indeed. Think about it this way. Imagine spending multiple millions of dollars on AI. Actually, don't even imagine it. You know it's a reality. Companies are investing in infrastructure. Companies are investing in applications, in cloud, and in AI. But imagine spending all of that and not actually being able to reach it. And that's the biggest complexity that we're seeing at the moment. The foundation isn't in place to provide all of those things. And when you start to have a conversation, the conversation really transitioned from what I would say a typical IT manager conversation. It's now shifted towards a commercial model too, where you have to get the buy-in, the involvement from a CFO as a prime example, because it becomes a commercial conversation too. And so what we do is, as I said, you've got to take that complexity into account, i.e., let's say you're providing connectivity to 10 sites. So imagine now a typical IT director having to deal with 10 different contracts,
Wow.
10 different suppliers, the complexity is just endless. So what we're doing is we're not trying to remove anybody out of the equation, but what we are trying to do is enhance their job function and their role on things that really matter.
So you're draining complexity.
Yeah.
And how do you do that? In other words, I sign up as a partner. Now, how do you drain the complexity out of some of these relationships?
It really starts off with a simple conversation. Once we have a conversation with a partner and with the end user, we bring the relevant resources to help partners scope the right solution. Once we have the right solution scoped, designed with our engineering team, we then partner with the trusted advisors to ensure that we have a clear understanding of what it is that the customer wants. Then we remove the complexity in multiple areas. First of all, it's a single throat to choke. So one supplier to manage all of the contracts, one supplier to manage all of the support tickets, one supplier to support you on a 24/7 follow the sun model. We remove all of that and provide additional visibility through what we call Expereo One, which is actually our AI-driven platform, which allows the customer to have that visibility. So it's not that we're removing complexity and not giving them the opportunity to have access to it. It's actually quite the other way around. We do all of the technical and the mundane functions, and we remove that out of the equation, but we provide the customer with more visibility than they've ever had before.
Now, what are the partners and MSPs telling you? How are these conversations going?
The conversations that we've had so far, and once the partners understand our unique or our ICP, conversations have been phenomenal. Conversations really have been along the lines of, and this is the feedback that we're getting from partners. We don't do global very well. I'm so glad that you're going to be taking this and giving us an additional capability that perhaps we previously didn't have. And let's be honest, America is still one of the largest opportunities in the growing regions in the world. And a lot of the organizations actually have or stem from the Americas and then have global reach in many different countries. So there's a real opportunity for partners here to embark on a journey with Expereo, to be able then to, rather than leaving crumbs on the table, really embrace the full solution from soup to nuts.
That's very interesting. And yeah, tell me a little bit more about ICP.
Sure. You would typically think of an ICP as maybe a vertical or a geography reach. Our ideal customer profile is slightly different. Any large organization or any large enterprise that has multiple global sites is a great opportunity to have a conversation with. Any customer that has perhaps offices or remote offices in areas that other players or other providers see as an afterthought or really don't want to go into, that is our bread and butter. That's where we typically win a lot of the business, because we don't just go into an opportunity or into a design based on the fact that we have a single provider or a single partner in a given country. Our drive is really around making sure that we provide the customer with the best connectivity platform available. And in some cases, it might actually be a LEO satellite as opposed to a copper wire that's been in the ground for the last 10 years. So for us, it's really assessing the situation, identifying the needs of the customer, and the uniqueness or the ICP really kicks in when it is, as I said, multiple sites globally and in a large enterprise that requires stable environment to be able to, maintain the function that they do as an organization.
So, Marek, it sounds to me like you just described a very curated approach for each partner.
I think I have.
Yeah.
I think I have.
So is that actually the case? In other words, people walk in and it doesn't sound very cookie cutter.
It isn't. And the reason why it is never a cookie cutter is because each region, each country, each organization has different needs. And for us, especially when you're relying on stable connectivity to fulfill your daily function, cannot be cookie cut. What we have done is we've sped up the process to ensure that the not only the onboarding, but really the process, the entire process from design all the way through to implementation is a lot quicker than majority of, I would say, single site providers. But that's because we've got over 2,800 partnerships out there that we've done for over 20 years. And we understand what it takes to provide a stable and reliable network.
Marek, on that note, I want to thank you very much for joining me today. Thanks for taking time out from a busy day. Thanks for walking away. I know you're every minute counts in those meeting rooms, so I want you to go back there and make some more deals. But for now, where can people learn more about Expereo?
I would say the best place to reach out is go onto the Expereo.com website. Look me up on LinkedIn, or I can always leave the details with you in terms of my contact. And please, by all means, give me a call direct if need be.
Marek, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Doug.